Ladies and gentlemen, Mario Martinez here with Vengreso, and I'm here with the great Mike Moore, one of our students in our selling. What's that?
The one and only.
The one and only. The one and only Mike Moore, one of our students from our Selling with LinkedIn training programs that we recently had about 3 weeks ago. Now, I'm super excited because Mike actually took the training that we did specifically on how to leverage digital referrals, right? Mutual connections to get into someone's office.
Right.
And not only did he create one opportunity, not just two, not three, but we had 5 net new opportunities and meetings that resulted from this technique as a result of Vengreso's training program on how to do digital referrals. So Mike, do me a favor, my friend, before we get into what you did and how you did it, tell us a little bit about yourself and who you work for.
Okay, Mike Moore. I work for CHG Meridian. We're in the lease finance space for industrial, for IT, and for healthcare. And I can just say this, Mario, you were worth the $5 million my company paid you to come and do this. I promise, man.
I appreciate that. I wasn't exactly 5 million, but we'll take 5 million.
But no, seriously, I think the energy and the professionalism, but it's the way you presented that made people engaged to do what we want to do. Because I mean, I'm sitting here and I've been doing this my whole life on LinkedIn. But when I saw the methodology and the process you had set up, I go, why not follow somebody that's, making a living off this? And when I did that, it was like, wow, I was impressed.
The good news is that it worked. Whew.
It was the first seminar you did, right?
The first time I ever did it. The first. All right. So I'm excited, guys, for those of you listening and watching this video, because Mike took what we teach as our 2-step digital referral process and made it his own and perfected it to match his personality, and was able to net out 5 new meetings, actually multiple meetings, but 5 of them as new meetings, along with 5 new opportunities. So Mike, we talked about in our Selling with LinkedIn training program, you guys were in the half-day program, and we taught you guys the perfect digital referral, and we talked about the 2-step process. The first step was look at your target buyer, and then assess who are your mutual connections that you have in common with that person. And then what we want to do is we want to look and reach out to those mutual connections and say, number 1, would you be willing to do me a favor? And number 2, do you have a relationship that is solid enough that would allow you to do me this favor? Is that correct?
That is, articulated perfectly. So since I had 5 buyers I wanted to reach, I figured, okay, let me send 3 referrals to each of those buyers.
Referral requests.
Yeah, referral requests. So I had a total of 15 I sent, right? 3
right.
to each one. I figure somebody's going to know him and he's going to respond to maybe 1 out of these 3, maybe all 3, but let me send them to the 3 and see what they say.
And that was step 1. So what we're doing is we're not sending a message saying, introduce me. We're saying, again, will you be willing to do me a favor? Right. And also, do you know him or her well enough to be able to make the introduction? Yeah. And this is actually a technique that we teach is, as a salesperson, you got to be able to assess out of all the mutual connections, and maybe it's just 1, but oftentimes it's multiple mutual connections, who's got the strongest relationship with that individual that you're trying to get to. And as a seller, our job is to assess who gives the best yes. Is that right?
Yeah, and it's funny because to be totally transparent, I just randomly picked 3 people that I knew, and I said, since they know me and we've been engaged at some level, doing something together, somebody's going to come up and go, Mike, we'll do this for you.
Yeah. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. In some cases, you actually had more than 3 mutual connections. So you started with 3, and if you got 3 no's, your next step was to go to another 3 and then another 3, or however many people it took to get through to get a yes. Is that right?
Exactly. And what was fortunate, I didn't need more than the initial 3 on any of them.
Fantastic. Yeah. So you ended up getting yeses by at least 1 person out of the 3 per buyer. And in fact, if I'm not mistaken, on one of those buyers, you actually got 2 yeses.
Got 2 yeses. I had to tell the other guy, hey, I really appreciate it, but I did it on my own.
Yeah. You ended up getting it.
Finally, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Fantastic. So you sent out message number 1, you asked for the favor, asked for help, right? And then you assess whether or not they were someone who can introduce you. Now you moved on into step number 2. Talk a little bit about step number 2 in terms of the message that you constructed to get to these folks.
So basically, it was a message saying, you know, would you be willing to send this email to the person? So I, you know, kind of put it in my own, what I would want this guy to hear, you know, so they put it. And so they said, yeah, we're willing to do that. Yeah. So that email was sent out.
And now inside of our step number 2 process, we talk about that the perfect referral process in message number 2 is that you need to provide very clear instructions by asking the person to copy you on that particular message, whether it's email or through LinkedIn. It could be either or. And then you make sure that you provide your email in message number 2. And correct me if I'm wrong, you provided the actual messaging to the mutual connection, making it easy for them to be able to cut and paste and actually make the introduction. Is that right?
100%.
And in addition to that, we also encourage you to make sure that you establish what the goal is. So if the referrer is going to take your canned message, inside there it needs to establish the goal, which in your case was probably a 30-minute meeting?
Yeah, my goal was to get this man to respond to me or lady to respond to me based on my referral.
Yeah. And to set up a meeting.
Yeah, and they stepped out of it. The referral source stepped out, and the buyers said, thank you. And I said, okay, great. Well, I'll take it from here the whole bit. We went direct, and from there went to the next point, which is the meeting. And
the key is that they had to copy you either on the LinkedIn message or on the email message, and either one would work, either medium, right? They had to copy you in order for you to pull that person out. Yeah?
Exactly. And what I like about that approach, if you think about it, what I think, because there's some people are going to see, oh my God, I'm getting referraled about Mike. And if you would have emailed me direct, I wouldn't answer, but I got to be kind to this person because he's my friend. Shoot. Yeah. Why not? I mean, there's a human element in that people forget about.
Well, and the stats don't lie. 84% of buyers responded that they started the purchasing process with a referral. A buyer said that 84% of the time they're reaching out to their network to get a referral, and as they start the buying process. So, I mean, what you did is spot on in terms of getting appointments. Now, you were a very lucky man because you targeted 5 potential buyers, and each of those 5 resulted in 5 different discussions.
Correct.
Which resulted into 5 net new opportunities. Is that right?
Yes, down the road. And 2 meetings. So, but the other was, I don't call meeting, to me is eye to eye what we're doing right here.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Or we're doing a Skype or a video. I think just a phone call or an email. You don't know a client when you're emailing. You think you may, but you don't.
Sure. Gotcha. Okay, fantastic. So whether you had just 5 different discussions, whether it was via phone or virtual face-to-face. Yeah. Right. All right. I'm with you on that one. So fantastic. So.
No, you're fantastic.
I love this guy. You're going to be our new mascot for Vengreso. So the digital referral process that we set up for you, while you made it your own in terms of your own words and your own voice, the methodology and the mechanics of that process helped you to be able to create more conversations with more qualified buyers.
No doubt. Yes, 100% in agreement.
I love it.
I'm speaking to you right now.
And that's why you're doing this testimonial for us.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome.
I love it, man. Well, do me a favor. If someone wants to know more how you can help them, should they reach out to you on LinkedIn?
That's a great idea. It's Mike Moore, and the company is CHG Meridian, MERIDIAN.
And do me,
I want to go to, but
.com. Then do me a favor, Mike, tell us how to spell your last name.
M is in Mike, O-O-R-E, like Martinez, only Mike Moore. The
M is the same. I love it, man. So congratulations on your success. We'll be watching to see where this ends up at. But thank you for joining our Selling with LinkedIn training program. And we can't wait to continue working with all of you guys at CHG Meridian.
You're the man, Mario. Thanks, pal.
Connect with Mike and make sure you tell him that you saw him on the Vengreso video. Thanks, guys. And if you have any questions, visit vengreso.com.